Hi, I'm Kim, and welcome to Deep Run Schoolhouse. Deep Run Schoolhouse was built in 1902, but not at this location. It was originally constructed near the intersection of Three Chop and Cox Roads. In the 1990s, members of the community remembered that this had been used as a schoolhouse. So they urged the County Board of Supervisors to save it from demolition. And in 1996, Henrico County moved Deep Run Schoolhouse from its original location to Short Pump Park. As you can see behind me, our Park Services Department is hard at work on preservation maintenance for this over 100-year-old structure. We are very fortunate to have talented men and women working tirelessly on preservation maintenance on the many historic properties that the county owns. Now let's take a look inside and learn a little bit about the teachers, students, and curriculum, and a little more about the history of the building. It's important to understand in early education in Henrico that a free public school system was established for all children across the South in 1870 as part of Reconstruction government. However, Henrico schools, like many schools across the South, would remain rigidly segregated for years to come. Now, Deep Run was a two-room schoolhouse, and in 1911, which was the final year of operation, there were 43 students in this schoolhouse, serving children ages 5 to 17. Miss Mills and Miss Boyd were the teachers, and they made about $400 a year teaching children. More than likely, they didn't live in the community. They boarded with families. This was important because it gave them an opportunity to get to know the families, to get to know the parents, and encourage them to send their children to school. Because another thing to note is that compulsory education, which is mandating children to go to school by law, was not in effect in Virginia until 1918. So many families felt like their children would be better served on the farm, helping to supplement the family income. They felt if their children could learn to read the Bible and know their Bible verses and practice simple transactions, then that was all that they needed, and that's stuff that they could learn at home. When the county moved to this structure, every effort was made to preserve as much of the original fabric as possible, like the beadboard that you see here. However, this dividing wall is a reproduction. We do know that there was a wall that divided the two classrooms during instruction time. However, it was collapsible so that on the evenings and weekends, this could be opened up and serve as a community center. But more than likely, the teachers took that opportunity to showcase the work of their students in order to convince parents the importance of sending their children to school. So you might have wondered what they studied. Well, a lot of the usual things that are still taught today: arithmetic, writing, reading, science, and history, of course. And every classroom was outfitted with a portrait of George Washington. It was important that the teachers shared with the students and taught them the founding of this country. Also, you'll see this flag, which has only 45 stars, indicative of the number of states that were part of the Union in 1902. It's also important to remember that with most lessons, there was always a theme of Christian morality and character building. Those were essential to a good education. Some of the other things that were taught that you don't get taught in school today are personal hygiene and penmanship. You'll see the cursive up there. That's something that not all teachers teach today because the importance of learning how to use a keyboard has superseded that. So what were some of the supplies that they had? Every student had, and probably shared, a McGuffey reader. This was the most popular primer in the early 19th century. They also did their lessons on slates like this. They would use a piece of chalk or a stylus, which is a thin, sort of pencil-like implement that you could write on this surface. And then, of course, a soft cloth to erase it, or perhaps your sleeve, depending on what was available at the time. So now you've learned a little bit more about Deep Run School, its history, the students, the teachers, and the curriculum. If you'd like to come visit the school, please feel free to give us a call. All of our historic properties are open by appointment, and we do take a limited number of people at a time. Join us in November when we visit Virginia Randolph, and we discuss in more detail the dual system of schools that operated in Henrico County for nearly a century. Thank you.